everyone, and welcome to my channel. It's a VW-less life. I do appreciate the support of you watching my video. And before we do get started, if you would like to see more videos, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Okay, so I am going to be filling out my Paycheck Planner, and I use this along with my monthly overview, and you can go ahead and catch that video as well. I'll go ahead and put the link in the description, and this helps me see what bills need to get paid with which paycheck, and it's been really helpful, and it helps us with making sure that we don't miss any bills so that later on we're not getting surprise late fees or anything like that. And these printables that I am using, they are available on my Etsy shop, and I will go ahead and put that link in the description as well. So if you are interested, you can go ahead and purchase either the printable, which is what I have right here, or you can purchase a digital copy, and all you would have to do is just pop in the amounts and what you're paying, and it'll auto calculate it for you. So I'm going to be using the printable version today. With it being February, I have a pink theme going here, and this sheet is a little plain, but I will actually go and I'll decorate it with like washi tape or with stickers. I might do little doodles on it, just whatever I think looks cute, and then I will hole punch it with my my Happy Planner hole punch, and then I'll just put it in my budget planner. So that's why it looks a little bit plain now. Okay, so with going along with the theme for February and Valentine's Day, I think I'm going to stick with a pink marker. All right, so on this sheet here, the way that it's laid out is we'll go ahead and put our income. Well, we'll start off with putting the pay date here, and then we'll put our income here. We'll go ahead and list every bill that's due between this paycheck and the next paycheck, along with the amounts. We'll total that up, and we'll be able to see how much we have left over from our paychecks. And then we always set aside for our mortgage. And then here, we also started doing sinking funds. So I will go ahead and list the sinking funds. And now that I actually see this, I might want to go back and actually add some lines so we can write straight. And then I will subtract all of this from what we have left over. It'll let us know how much we have left over after the sinking funds. And then we like to make an extra credit card payment when we do have higher balances, and then we'll show what we have actually left over for the month. Now, we did just start budgeting almost every dollar so that we don't have anything left over at the end of the paycheck. Anyway, so we'll go ahead and get started. So the most recent paycheck, although it was in January, it's going towards February bills because it was on January 31st. So we'll write 1/31/20, and then we'll go ahead and list our paycheck amounts here. And again, for the sake of privacy, I'm not going to fill that part in. And then what I'll do is I will take my monthly overview from here, and then whatever is due between January 31st, and then I'll even write it down in here. Our next paycheck would be on 2/14, just in time for Valentine's Day. So then anything that's due between these dates, I'll go ahead and put here. And the way that I like to use that is with this here. So I will usually kind of do, actually I'll do it till the 13th, because then on the 14th, we'll go ahead and start this process all over again. Okay, so for the 31st, I'll just usually go by category too. So let's go ahead and start with our first category here. So we do have our mortgage payment. And actually, I'm not going to write that because we transfer funds for our mortgage, and we have that in a separate account, and that just gets paid automatically every month. So we already have the money for our February mortgage, set aside, so it's not going to come out of this paycheck. The money from this paycheck is actually going to go for the March mortgage. So I'm not going to write that in here. Oh, that's going to bug me. I might just print out another sheet and redo this after. But anyways, we'll move on. So we do have our truck payment that's going to be coming out of this paycheck. We're also going to have our internet. And then we'll have our cell phones. And then those are all of the household or utilities that will be due for this paycheck. And then we'll move on to the next one. And then we'll have our grocery budget and our gas budget and our contribution also listed here. So I'll go ahead and put grocery, gas, and contribution. And so for these ones, let's see here. So I'm going to go grocery shopping twice. So whatever our grocery budget is weekly, I'll just multiply that by 3. So for our grocery budget, it's $80. So we're going to go grocery shopping two times within this pay period. So I'll put in a budget of $160. 80 times 2 is 160, right? Yeah. Okay. All right. So then that's everything for the weekly column. And then we'll go ahead and put our recurring or subscriptions next. So we've got YouTube. We've also got HP Inc. And we have our Spotify, Hulu bundle. And then if you are wanting to know how I got that down to $4.99 and then what HP Inc. is, go ahead and check out my monthly overview video, because I do give a little bit more info on what those are and how I got Spotify and Hulu for $4.99. And then that's it for our subscriptions that are due. And then for our credit cards over here, I did do a little bit of spending on my Discover card. So I will write that down here. And then our Capital One, we also do have something due because we had some maintenance due on the truck and on our car all at once, which was another story. But we did have to end up putting that on a credit card. Oh yeah, I know, along with our registration that was due too. It all just happened at once, of course. But I also explained this in the monthly overview video a little bit more. We actually have started some sinking funds for our car maintenance, because that's what we used our Capital One card for. So we are gonna, and I'll show you down here on the sinking fund section how we put away for that. So that way, if something does happen, we have that cash already set aside. So we can either, 1, just pay it in cash right then and there when we need to, or 2, still put it on a credit card, earn the rewards, come home, and then just pay that right off. So that's why we do have a balance on that one. And then our Amazon, we actually did a little bit of shopping on this one because my husband and I are both getting bonuses this year. So we got just a little bit ahead of ourselves. We did a little bit of shopping. We already know how much we allotted ourselves from that bonus, and the rest is going to savings and to any other debt that we have. But we did order some stuff, and once our bonuses come in a couple of weeks, then we're just going to pay that off. But I do also like to put that in there because we are still going to pay at least the minimum payment. So that's everything that's due from our monthly overview between this paycheck and next paycheck. So then I'm going to set this aside. And then what we'll do is we'll total up our income, subtract everything that's due, and then we'll put in our remaining amount here. And then for our mortgage, we'll put the amount that we set aside per paycheck here. And we'll split it by paycheck so that, again, it doesn't all hit at once. And then we just transfer that to a separate bank account that is just for our mortgage payment. And then we just pay it from that bank account. And then right here is where we're going to list our sinking funds and our kids allowance, because we do give our kids allowance. So we have boy allowance and girl allowance. And that's not just because I don't want to say their names on on the video, I actually call my kids the boy and the girl. So those of you who know me, when I'm talking about my kids, I will just say the boy or the girl, which actually is pretty funny. But they answer to it, so it works. And so then we also set up 3 separate sinking funds. So first one is going to be for car maintenance, and that's car or truck maintenance. And then we also, because we have a truck and a car, the registrations are coming up due this year. So we also have the truck registration. And then we have our car registration. And again, I think I might go back and just add some lines so that I can write that just a little bit straighter. So then once I add those amounts here, we'll go ahead and subtract the amount that we set aside from our mortgage, along with these sinking funds and our kids' allowance. And then we'll see right here how much we have left over after that. And then based on how much we have left over there, I will usually do about a quarter of that, about 25% towards an extra credit card payment if we were doing extra snowball payments or anything like that. Or if we're just going to put more aside for savings, then I'll just change that to say savings, and that's what we'll put right here. And then whatever we set aside here, we'll subtract, and then right here will tell us what we actually have left over for that paycheck. Now for this paycheck, this last paycheck in January, which is technically, I guess, the first one for February bills, I budgeted almost every dollar. So we don't have a whole lot remaining, but that is considering all of our bills are paid. We have money set aside for groceries. We have money set aside for gas, and anything else that we might need over the next 2 weeks. So we're going to see how that goes, because I like to have a little bit of a cushion in our bank account, just in case something comes out. But we have gotten to a point where we know everything that's coming out of our bank account, when it's coming out of our bank account, thanks to this lovely little sheet here. So there isn't a whole lot of surprises. So I'll give an update on how that goes by our next paycheck. But yeah, that's how I use this paycheck planner. And then I'll just go ahead and do it for the remaining checks in February. And then I'll start this process all over again for March. And again, I like to go ahead and decorate it with washi tape, or I have a lot of stickers that I'll put on here, or again, I'll just do little doodles, you know, hearts for February, for Valentine's Day, which is super awesome. And again, I have these available on my Etsy shop. So if you do go and purchase them, you can decorate them and personalize them to however you want. And then again, I'll just hole punch these, and I will put them in my planner under my budget section. And then I know how much we're spending and how much we're not spending. Alrighty, so again, I will go ahead and put the links for my monthly overview video along with my Etsy shop in the description. So that's it. That's how I fill out my paycheck planner. And again, if you like this video, go ahead and show your support by throwing a thumbs up on here. And then if you would like to see more videos, don't forget to subscribe. So thanks for watching.